Good evening, everyone. Today we're going to talk about the calendar date dimension. Follow to our topic about slowly changing dimension, confirmed dimension. Today we talk about one of the most critical concepts in data warehouse architect. In each and every department, in each and every branch, you most likely will need to deal with date and historical data. And here come the critical role of the calendar date dimension. So every single day in your Robert timeline will be full of rich attributes. So instead of you only have one attribute for date, you will have the date, you will have the week, you will have the quarter, yearly, you will have the occasions for free days or whatever, like all historical stuff that's related to calendar could be consistently saved in one dimensional table, and by this way you will be able to do like a group by or like filtering based on this kind of character. So you can group by the quarter or weekly or monthly, and then you can do this kind of advanced. And I have here one example that would make for you very easy to understand. Let's consider we have a data warehouse for a HR department. We will have dim date. Dim date can be something like date key. This is very important concept in that calendar date dimension. You will need always to have a surrogate primary key, which is the date key. And this date key you will use in the fact tables as a foreign key, and then you will be able to use to any other attribute in this dimensional. As you can see, you have here the quarter, you have the year, we have a fact table called employee events. This employee events will have employee key. Will have hire date key, termination date key, promotion date key. And by this way, you can see that let's go to the example. It will be easier that the fact, this is here the dimensional. That you have the date key, you have day of week. So the dimensional table here have the whole information we talked about. It's physical year or something, and date key is our surrogate key. All this can be grouped by month, by quarter, by year, and can be calculated. Fact events table, this is the next table. This is our fact table. It will have the hire date key, you can see, and we have promotion key and termination key. This is all like foreign keys which we can refer back to dimensional. In Kimball, there is some tips we can use to make a best practice that you add like 20 year forward and backwards when you're populating your date dimension. Use the integer surrogate key in same format that we add here in our example. Like use the physical attributes if business use physical calendar, special flags for holiday, calendar dimension with entire warehouse. This means from explaining last time confirmed dimensions that you will use the same dimensional table to feed different facts table that are using same attribute from same dimension. If we apply this concept and we did the date key and we ask about higher day promotion and we did like that kind of 3-time join to use the same table dimension to fulfill like or to answer a different question about higher promotion and termination, we are applying actually a very important concept called a role-playing dimension. By definition, it's like a single physical dimension can be referred multiple times for fact table. So in our case here, we use the date dimension, like table to refer for 3 events, which is like termination, promotion, and hire. And of course, it's like need to be fact table can have several dates which happen in our case and represent as a foreign key. So every column from this is a foreign key that refers to a separate dimensional table, which in our case was the date dimensional table. Again, this is the most important part. It is essential that each foreign key refer to as a separate view of a date dimension. So references are independent. In our case, we have the hire date, promotion date, termination date. They are like 3 different views are in same table coming from the calendar dimension, but we use them as 3 different views and they are reflecting to feed the fact table or confirmed dimension table for all the data warehouse and use it several times. By this way you apply the concept of role-playing dimension. Now I will show you how you can in this example implement it using a store procedure to populate the tables and how to move the tables between the different stages. So here we will create the same table we show, which is dim calendar, and then after we will populate it. For just simplicity, I will take 1 year, which is 2024, 365 days. Then we call the values by variables, and then we set the variable date added day 1. It means we will be incremental by base of 1 day, so we will not jump days or anything, but we will be adding day by day on a daily basis. Then after that we will be and then after that we will create the fact employment event. So this is what the other example we show: employee ID, hire date, key, promotion, exactly the same. We created the table. Then after we will do staging table that we can move the data to it. So we created the events table, and then we will enter 50 employees. This is just the dummy data, just for simplicity and for using this for our example. Then now we will start to create our store procedure. So create procedure load fact employment event. As always, we will start by as, then begin, and then after that you will use the best practice, set no count. We use always this that allow us to avoid that save some memory, and of course like you need to keep space. And then after that we will need to insert into. So if you remember, like we already use the insert into, we have already the insert into. We will take insert into from the original one. Okay, so it will be like, for sure we not miss any column. And then we will get this from staging employee, let's call it S as abbreviation, so it will help us to know where we are. So we will select, then what we will select, we select the whole columns actually. So employee ID, then we will select but what we need also, we need like now to create a 3-time left join dimension, right? So let's left join for our dim calendar. We need to do that 3 times because we are trying to get the promotion, termination, and was like a hire date. So let's call it, we need to give a variation, of course, so it will be easier, C1, and let's call it C2, and then C3. Okay, and from all of them you will need, of course, to add like a normal joint, you will need to add in. So S, it's like from employee ID, of course, like you have what we need. We have the hire date because like this is our foreign key, right? Because this is the key that we are reading from the fact table. Okay, it will be C1, our full date. Okay, and then on. We are now left join for second one. Second one, we will use the, for example, promotion. So it will be s.promotion. Okay, is equal to c2 dot promotion. C2 full date. And then after and last, it will be on s dot termination equal to c3 dot full date. Okay, so now we have the 3 reference. We can also select them here, so let's select them. So it will be c1 dot date key. This is like the foreign key as, let's call it hire date, key. Same like exactly the example we show in our slides too. It will be like date key as promotion date key, and then last it will be C3, must be small because we use all abbreviation small, date key as, it will be termination date key. Okay, and then after we need the salary event, just we will take the other salary events, other columns with us, and the years in rule. Okay, and of course they are coming from the original like fact table, so S. Okay, and then we will end our procedure, and then we will execute. Okay, and then we execute it. Now we can see the procedure executed successfully. So we now have the staging employee, the dummy table we create. You can see have hire date, promotion date, and transactions. If we now have the fact event, this is the one we populate with our store procedure. You can see hire date key, promotion key, termination key. Now how to get benefit from what we built, like I will show you. So let's say we have like we have this fact employee event, let's put it F, and then we have like our dimensional table. So we will do left join in our dimensional table dim calendar, and let's put it H on. Okay, of course let's use only one example, which is the hire date. So if hire date key equal to date key, let's select from F, we need the employee ID, and let's take the H from our dim calendar. We will take the year, and we can take, for example, one more thing, like let's take, okay, the month's name. Okay, that is enough. So you can see now the employee ID, year, and month. So now we did this role-playing dimension. You can see how we use the dim calendar to select the year, the month. So now we have employee ID 1 with year 24 hired in month January. Of course, if we need the promotion or like termination, we will need to add the extra left join as views, and then we have like the role play dimension.